Welcome to Generations, a show which helps people 50 and better lead happy, healthy, and productive lives. Here's today's moderator, Nadia Giordana.
Hello and welcome to Generations. I'm Nadia Giordana, and to my left is Gloria Van Denteltrot. Welcome, Gloria.
Thank you, Nadia. I'm delighted to be here. I'm excited about an upcoming fun show.
It's going to be a good show. And we also have Ellie Freed. Hi, Ellie.
Hi, I'm glad to be here also. It's always very enlightening.
It is always. And Karen Risette. Hi, Karen.
Hi, thank you for this program. I'm very excited because I have had an occasion to know Maria Genne in a former role, and it's good to see you again, too.
Yes, you do know our special guest today, Maria Genne. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today.
Tell us a little bit about your organization, Kairos Alive.
Well, we're both a performing arts, education, and a social impact organization. And I say that because our model is about radical welcome. And in that radical welcome model, we place elders in the center of intergenerational community. And we do that through both seeing elders and their community around them as sources of artistic and social and cultural value. So we do that by dancing together and telling stories.
And you have a clip to show us, don't you?
We do, and you'll see. I laugh because it's like looking at a Kairos Alive speed dating, clip. We wanted to share a little of everything. Our work, we have weekly programming, which you'll see a little of that. We call the Dancing Heart, and that we've been doing for many years. We started more than 18 years ago, and it's a dance, music, and story creative session that we do with people of all ages, but especially working with older adults and with many different backgrounds, cultural backgrounds and abilities. And then we also, you'll see, and I think that's how it starts off, you'll see one of our community dance halls. We call it Kairos Alive Intergenerational Dance Hall. You'll see one at Park Elder Senior Center, a real mix of folks that come, another one at Episcopal Homes, and then one at Centro, right in their parking lot, which is Centro is the Latino American Community Center at 19th and Chicago in Minneapolis. So you'll get to see that's like our special event that we do, but it really is this community or an opportunity for community to come together and dance together, have that opportunity to listen to each other and be together and find a way to move together. And then you'll see we also do, it's all about creating teaching and learning communities, right? And so you'll see a little bit of our online training. We have a program called Moving Well that we've brought locally to Minnesota to staff, but also to family caregivers and just folks that are interested in learning about it. And now we're putting that on our a Zoom platform, or a platform that we can do in person in same time as well. So I think that's all. You'll see my fellow artists. We're a team of artists that work together doing these programs, and then we work with amazing musician bands as well. So I think that's a good description, but just hang in there and watch for how people of different backgrounds, maybe they might not have known each other, how they come together to dance together.
Oh, that's fantastic. Let's look at that clip.
Make a friend if you can. Reach out, touch a hand, make a friend if you can.
In my Hmong community, especially those seniors, they're shy. They don't want to participate in any type of dance at all. The shy part went away. So they love it. they enjoy so much.
Yeah, good. I like. Yeah. Happy? Yeah, happy today. Yeah. The heart. Heart, muscle.
What job?
Yeah, what job? Thank you for you.
Thank you.
But I just thought it was so weird that I was sitting in this group of people that I didn't know and they were going to ask us to get up and dance. I was like, whoa.
Chair dancers are going to stay in one place, right? And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Chair dancers are going to spin traveling dancers around. Like a child in wild anticipation, I long to hear that all aboard.
And you leave there just feeling good. It's like, oh, I can't wait to do that again.
Oh! Where do you hold that tree? Tell me how you hold that tree. Yeah. Oh, yeah, let's hold that tree. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, and what I love about that is that the research then shows us that proves that there's a body-brain engagement that happens with the rhythm of the music.
A great event. Everyone get together, from little kids, teenagers, moms, seniors. Oh, we loved it. Gracias por venir.
When you make music together, you create real strong social bonds together. And it's the same thing with dance. Like when people who dance together tend to be very close. It's a very cool thing that you guys are doing.
Pretty women, when we're out on leave, good friends and so wear responsibilities. Find the nightlife sights, always ready for more. Every pat on the back is better than the one before. Don't tell Mom, don't tell Mom. I've been getting away with everything for so long, but everybody knows that you don't tell Mom.
We enjoy it because you always lift our spirits.
Long-term population studies have singled out dance as the most effective activity in respect to healthy aging.
And she arises to walk. How do you feel, Loretta?
I feel fine.
Wasn't that great? I was so fun to see the people interacting, and especially the elders in the video, the looks on their faces. That was fantastic.
The movement, the joy that was in the video was just wonderful. I watched the people. This wasn't just physical movement. It involved their minds and helping to exercise your mind as well as your body. So you focus on that as well?
Well, it's who we are, and I think that, yes, and I think I'm always there's always that opportunity to remind people that we're body mind, right? That's not separate, even though we have words for that. But our creativity is part of our whole brain, being, and that even as we get older, that there are many ways that we can continue to give back to our community and share our stories, share our what we've learned, but also to learn new ways of being, get to know new people, maybe learn some dances, but be willing to open to the possibilities of what it is to find new ways of getting to know someone or being in the world.
Where are all the different places that you do this?
Well, I mentioned some of them that you saw on the video. Again, right in the Twin Cities, traditional places like senior centers, but also an upcoming intergenerational dance hall that we'll be doing will be at the American Swedish Institute at ASI.
Yes.
And another one that you saw that during the video is our wonderful orchestra hall in Minneapolis, and we'll be bringing or collaborating with our colleagues at the Minnesota Orchestra to do a community dance hall this spring. So, and you saw that we were there last year, and that was part of the video. So real mix. So what you'd say traditional and sometimes schools. My whole idea is that I think it's so important that we learn how to be together in a respectful way, in a way that really listens with our hearts and with our eyes and with our ears. And I think that dancing together is one of the best ways to do that. Beautiful. And plus, we know the research is moving is really important for all of us from birth through our whole life.
For body and for brain.
For body and for brain, that's right.
Could you tell us how the Kairos Alive got its name? What does it mean, and how did it come about?
Well, back in, and I want to say it was about 1999, somewhere in there, 1998, my work has been primarily, I'm both an artist and an educator. So I've worked with young people in dance and theater my whole career. And I had a young people's dance company, and I wanted to keep on dancing. So I had this idea of starting an intergenerational dance company. And with that, I thought, what kind of name should we have? And I've always been thrilled by the word kairos, or in the Greek, I think is kairos, or keros. And the ancient meaning of it means the open moment, or when eternity meets the present, or the right time. And the right time felt a perfect name for an intergenerational dance company, with the idea of, if we're going to show how we can be together, all generations, all abilities, all cultural backgrounds, then I have to find that was my idea. Well, then if we have this intergenerational dance company, we can give a visual and experiential experience for people what that might be. So that's how it started.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was going to say, you mentioned mind and body, and I think when I watch dancing, spirit is involved too. There's a lot of spirit in dance, don't you think?
Oh, for me, it's my core. And over the years, I've been really privileged to work with many different people. Working quite a lot with older adults. We now are doing some work with the support of the Minnesota State Arts Board at the VA hospital. And I work with people with developmental disabilities. I've worked with, everyone, just regular folks. And from my experience is that when people allow that creative expression that comes through expressing through our body and our body-mind, is that it can be very powerful. And for me, it is a way to connect in a spiritual connection to my own wisdom, body-mind wisdom, but also to connect to the people that I'm dancing with.
I think one of the things that just amazed me when I first saw your work was how you involve people who you might first assume would not be able to move much or do much in the way of dance, and then all of a sudden I've watched you working with them and your troupe of dancers carrying on an activity where everybody's part of it and they're all moving and they're all smiling. You know?
When my dad was he was in a nursing home before he died, and he was in a wheelchair, and when they had dances at the nursing home, and they would take him around in the wheelchair to all the moves of the music, and he loved it.
The inspiration for the intergenerational dance halls was hearing people talking about how, oh yeah, back in the day I used to dance at the Marigold Ballroom, or I used to dance at the Prom, or in Wells, Minnesota, the Bubble Ballroom, and people would light up, and I thought, I want to do that too. I want to have this place where we can come together as community, and be together and enjoy each other and actually share a language that goes beyond just maybe a spoken language, you know. And so our dance halls include people that speak many different languages verbally, but the dances that we do together is that human connection. And I also wanted to speak to what you were saying earlier, which for me as an artist is so important, is the accessibility piece. And so less and less we focus on a performance, and we perform. There's usually you saw the core teachers, Parker and Nicholas, and then Kevin Washington Band. You saw Tom Johnson's Carlester Crumblebee Orchestra. So we have professional artists are key to this work. We really see ourselves as curating this work, guiding this work, designing the work, but then making sure that the folks that we're with, the participants, that they can be part of that participatory art making, which I think is so important. And it's my job as an artist to create it so it's accessible. So whether it's in a chair or, traveling or doing it through movement and without sound, or, again, that's my job to make sure that people feel welcome, they feel engaged, they learn something, and they feel part of community, that they're valued.
And also drawing out those that are simply reluctant to join in, whether it be shyness or some other reason, but there are those who sit on the sidelines and just don't want to participate until they feel like they're really welcome.
And I always just say, I'm just glad you're here.
It's great.
And wouldn't it be great if every day someone said to me, I am glad you are here. So that's what we start with, and that's, again, I like that idea of calling it radical welcome. Like, you are here, and that's the best thing, and we'll make sure that hopefully you feel welcome. And we've been really blessed with amazing partners, ones that I suggested or had just mentioned, Centro, which we now those weekly programs, those Dancing Heart, we do those in Spanish. And the community dance hall is both in Spanish and English, and so we're at East Side Neighborhood Center, and we are even doing some work in Duluth and in Winona, Minnesota. We've had a great dance hall in the VFW in McGregor, Minnesota. So, and then we've been invited now, especially with our online work, working out of the state as well. So.
Do you have a big bus that you travel
I
in?
wish. We used to have an elder, Osime. She always said she was going to get a bus for us, but it's usually in cars. But because we bring speakers, and we've been wishing for a van,
Big van.
big van.
Could you tell us a little bit more about the intergenerational portion of your dance? do you involve children or young people, or how does that work together?
Well, certainly it depends on the community and the event. One of our recent dance halls, and I was thinking at Centro, was we invited the young people from their programming, and we sometimes we'll do it really informally if we're in the same building, or else more formally we'll ask them to come and be dance volunteers, and just give them a little background about how to be together or be with someone who might be a chair dancer, how to that invitation, and that listening again with your eyes and your ears and your heart. So we were at Jones Harrison, and we worked with some of the young people, from Breck, and we have this model of showing how we can dance together in different ways. We have different parts of our dance hall, or Dancing Heart has a mixer, so we invite traveling dancers to be able to dance with people that are in chairs, but we make sure that everyone moves around so that even if I end up being in a chair, that I feel I'm in the center, because again, that's our mission, is to bring elders in the center of intergenerational community as vital artistic, resources for our community. For us as humans, we need each other.
I can't let the time go by without mentioning that Maria and her work with Kairos has contributed substantially to very, very good research that's being done now on the impact of the program and all of this that you're doing on the health and well-being of various ages and various people with disabilities and so on. And there's a substantial amount of research now that has been accumulated, and you've been a part of contributing to that.
Well, I think, and I know you feel the same, that it's very important that we validate the work that we do. I can tell you a million anecdotal stories, which are it's really important. But having that research is really important. I wish that we had more funding for it. It's always more challenging as an arts organization, but we clearly in our mission is to evaluate our work, and we've learned to get better at it. Even with our intergenerational dance halls, we'll have a survey at the end, and to see if how are people feeling differently? Did they move more than usual? Did they meet someone they hadn't met? Do they feel more welcome? Will they come back again? And we know those markers are really important. I mean, social isolation, I don't know if you've heard this one, but social isolation is equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
I have not heard that.
Oh my gosh.
So for us, the opportunity to break through that barrier of people feeling isolated is key. So a lot of our work is also based on other larger research projects that we can connect with because of the similarity of how we proceed and who we're working with.
Are there any organs in particular, or is it the overall health and well-being of the person that is detrimental with that social isolation?
Well, I think we're as a healthcare community figuring that out. We do know that depression, mood level is really important and contributes not only to whether we're feeling good or not, literally to how our circulatory system works, how our we know that again that mind-body connection is really important. So literally one thing we know when we're dancing, when you're, and I'm like saying dancing could be tapping your toe to your favorite music. You do not have to go to a dance hall to dance, right? One of my favorite things is a woman was saying from a Centro, she goes, now I dance to commercials. I went like, great. So that, but so when, and I realized I lost my train of thought, but that tracking just even someone's mood changes we know is really important. Oh, I know, endorphins. We get
Yes.
endorphins.
Yes.
We get them from eating chocolate, dark chocolate, but also, right, yes. Laughter, right, and dancing together. Because also there's that, again, as I was speaking earlier, that attention. You know, when you dance with someone, you're attending to that person. You're taking the time to be with them. You have to move to the rhythm of each other, up to the music, but you're doing that together, right? And that, to me, is a powerful human interaction that goes, and that's why actually the overall, we call our work choreography of care.
Oh.
So how can we choreograph? How can we design to how we can be together in caring, respectful, loving ways? And I think dancing together is really good medicine. It's a good
You
way
have
to do
so
it.
many different programs. So many different programs, and they're for all ages and all different groups. Is there any that we haven't talked about?
Well, again, I think the Dancing Heart, what I love about that weekly programming is that, again, our focus and how I designed it way the heck back when I was looking for older adults to be in the Intergenerational Dance Company. I went to senior centers and I saw people sitting around. And I thought, well, you know, if I can get 6th grade boys to dance, which I was at the time, if I can get 6th grade boys to dance, I can get people dancing in chairs. And as I did that, I saw that people started coming alive, hence Kairos Alive, you know, and I saw, even though I was told, oh, that's someone with memory loss, but I was seeing people learning new songs, new dances. We choreographed together, we performed, we shared stories. So I saw, instead of what I was hearing what the diagnosis was, instead I was seeing creative people with a rich experiences, and that maybe they couldn't share it always in a storyline, but they could share it in a gesture.
Yes, yes, movement.
This program you talked about, is that televised?
Well, we have a website, we have lots of videos.
Okay.
So you can just look at it and get inspired to dance. Our intergenerational dance halls are 99 to 9/10 the time free. And so people are always welcome. We're always looking for dance hall volunteers or dance volunteers. And so it's a great experience for people that want to be a part of it, and we do volunteer training. We love having our dance volunteers, or just families coming and bringing their loved ones. That's really important to us. And so that's why we seek out community partners like American Swedish Institute and Orchestra Hall, so that there's a welcome mat for everyone.
Well, Maria, this has been so great. I wish we had all afternoon.
Well, we could dance then.
We could dance. We could do this show while we're dancing.
There you go. There you go.
Well, thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you very much.
Ladies, thank you all for joining me in this program today. And thank you all for watching Generations. We'll see you next time.